This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global, all the way in Miami. Delighted to be joined by my friend, Mr. BJ Flores, who's now calling himself Benjamin J. Flores. Is that the new name?
I just think it sounds a little more proper, a little more official. What do you think?
Flores, yeah.
My friends can still call me BJ, yeah, but I kind of go by Benjamin. My friends call me BJ, so that's kind of what we're doing now.
I was actually talking to someone about you yesterday, yeah?
Uh-oh.
I was saying that years ago, you took me out. You and David took me out on a night out in Vegas.
Yeah.
But that's about all I'm going to mention about that night. But it was a great night anyway. But.
Showed you a little bit of love, of Las Vegas love, huh?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Obviously, BJ, you're helping Jake prepare for April 17th against Ben Askren, which is not too far away. It's just over a month away. So how's he looking right now in the gym?
He's good. We've sparred probably in this camp about 140 rounds already. We've been working for about 4 months. He's been sparring 2 to 3 times a week for the last 8 months. I mean, he's way ahead of like what people think. We haven't been, we haven't been taking time off. We haven't been taking breaks. He fought November 28th, and that fight was supposed to be in July. It ended up being in November, so we just kept training all the way till November. Stayed sharp, stayed in Las Vegas. Jake got to spar a lot of really good guys over there, a lot of good pros. Ahmed Iliobi, Rob Safar, Ronald Ellis, who fights David Benavidez this weekend. I mean, he's just been in with probably 10 or 15 named guys, and he's been in with about 50 other guys who are still tough and give him good work. So he's just gotten hundreds of rounds over the last years, 18 months, and it's been really good for his boxing IQ. So he's really sharp right now. We could fight right now. We could fight tomorrow. We could fight the day after tomorrow. We could fight April 17th. It's not going to matter. So.
BJ, I will come on to Ben Askren in a minute, but I do want to address a video that I saw yesterday that Jake put out on his Instagram. The video had Dana White, Mike Tyson, Zab Judah on a podcast, and some interesting comments from Dana White where he's put $1 million up that Jake loses this fight. I've seen a few stories from yourself kind of responding to that, but Dana's not playing about with this. Is he serious about this?
We'll see. We actually reached out to him yesterday, and we're supposed to contact him today. So hopefully we can have a conversation about that to see if he's really serious about it, or if he's just kind of, going on and talking like he's about it when he's really not. So I think he'll do it. I think either way now, if we kind of hold him to the fire, I think he'll do it. So to me, it's easy money. And barring Ben showing up, there's nothing that Ben can do to not get knocked out. As long as he shows up, he will get knocked out. I don't know what round it'll be, but it's not going to go long. I'm telling you right now. Jake's been looking too good in sparring and training, and nothing against Ben. I'm not dogging on Ben at all. It's impossible for him at 36 to learn what he needs to learn to be able to make it into the second or third round of this fight. So,
BJ, I mean, after the Gibb fight, which was, I was just talking about this off camera. It was obviously in Miami last year, over like 12, 13 months ago.
Right.
The Gibb fight was what it was. Then he had the fight with Robinson, and then people were kind of saying, well, why don't you fight an actual real fighter, which is the next step in what he's doing now, in fighting someone who's, all right, he's not a boxer as such, but he's very experienced in mixed martial arts, in the combat world. So we will get some questions asked of Jake Paul in this fight against Ben Askren.
Right, and I just feel like, he's a well-known name. A lot of people are just automatically dismissing Jake because they think Ben's a UFC fighter. And I mean, Dana himself, I mean, he's drinking the Kool-Aid, thinking like, Ben was a world champion in other fighting leagues and all that kind of stuff, but it's not boxing. And this is going to be a statement to the entire world on what happens when a non-trained fighter comes into a boxing ring. It's not the same. And this is going to be a big eye-opener for everybody involved.
I've never come across anyone over the years that has not really been involved in boxing for the majority of his life. We know where kind of Jake's made his name from, but he's aggravated a lot of people in boxing in a very short space of time. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's fair to say. I think a lot of people, from the stuff that goes out on the media and things like that, people don't really, get to know Jake how he really is. But he's a master at what he does, and he's very smart, and it's all calculated. So it's very interesting, being like behind the scenes and seeing what he's actually trying to accomplish. It's really neat. And he's a hard worker, works his ass off. He's a good kid, takes care of his entire team very well. You know, we bust our ass. It's a very professional camp. We work very hard 2 times every day. There's no bullshit, and that's it. But outside of the gym, he puts out some pretty funny stuff that kind of gets under people's skin, and he responds to people and calls them out if they call him out. He really doesn't care, and you know, he's ready to back it up. So this will be a good example of that on April 17th.
I was going to ask you about that because we see snippets of Jake Paul, and a lot of people build their kind of opinions on Jake based on those snippets that we see on his social media, which he puts out. But away from that, would you call him, you're talking there about his training, etc. How dedicated would you say he is? You know, it's difficult to compare him to like yourself, who had a career in boxing and other fighters. But to what you know of him now, how dedicated is he to boxing right now?
I've been with him for 18 months, and I mean, we've been literally doing 2-a-days for 18 months. I mean, we've had a couple of weeks off here and there after his couple of fights, but I mean, he's all about it. He's 24, he's young, he's hungry, he's full of life, and not to mention he's an exceptional athlete. So there he is right there. He's an exceptional athlete. So, you know, even if you got guys who, you know, you put 100,000 people in a room, he's going to be in the top 500 athletes in that entire room, and that's something that people don't really realize. So he's very, very sharp, and he's very athletic. So you know, he's got a lot of tools.
How different is it for you though, BJ? Like I said, to work with someone like that, because like I said, you've had your boxing career and you've fought who you fought, but how different is it for you to be involved with Jake?
I mean, it's kind of the same. It's kind of nice, like still being involved but not being involved. You know, doing it through him, it's been fun, and it's being kind of like along for the ride. It's been a good experience. It's been a good experience being along for the ride and it's kind of helping him. And I mean, that's really all I can say. I mean, he's you know, it's been fun. So really good. He's got Jake's strength and conditioning coach right there. So
Gotta get it in.
So your team, who does it consist of at the minute, training Jake?
Yeah, I mean, it's been, you know, it's been great. It's been, you know, we're working every day. I mean, every day till April 17th, we're out here working. So 2-a-days, sparring, training, everything we got to do. I mean, it is what it is. What's up,
bro? Okay. Well, listen, it's good to get a little insight. It'll be interesting to see how this Dana White situation plays out.
We'll see if he actually does it or not. You know, I'll be surprised if he actually does it. But if he does, I'll be very surprised. But we welcome it. You know, I got myself and a business partner of mine. We're down to do it. And then, you know, a couple other people that are jumping all over. Jake wants to do it, of course. So we got a lot of moving parts right now. A lot of people who want to get involved in this action. So.
What's? I know you're not going to be overlooking the opponent on April 17th, but what's the plan after April 17th, BJ?
I don't really think about that at all because the only thing that matters is April 17th. I'm not really thinking about that. So all that matters is fighting Ben, beating Ben, looking impressive, beating Ben, and that's it, man. I'm not really thinking about anything else. So that's all I'm thinking about.